Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, Athletes Shining a Light on Mental Health. Super excited. We have Macie Boyd in the building today. Macie, where are you coming out of?
Good morning. I'm so glad to be here. I am from Stillman Valley, Illinois, so just a little south of Rockford.
Very nice. Are you still there now or where are you currently?
I'm still there now. Yep.
Nice. How you liking it?
I love it. I grew up there, played softball there my whole life, and now I teach in the same school I went to. So it's super full circle for me.
That is a full circle community moment. And speaking of the softball, I've been trying to do a better job with the intro stuff. Obviously, high school player, collegiate. You played at two different schools technically, but we'll go into that a little bit more in depth today. And then obviously, still in the schooling district as well. Talk about softball. When did you get the ball in your hands? When did you get started? Yeah, can you? Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I started Oh, sorry. Yeah, I started. I played t-ball and then just fell in love with the game from there. And then when I got into junior high, I actually wanted to play volleyball. And I remember the first parent meeting. My whole family went, and I had just said like, "Oh, I want to be a pitcher." And my mom was like, "It's going to be a lot of work if you want to be a pitcher." And the volleyball coach was like, "You have to devote your life to volleyball." And I was like, "No way am I doing that." So it was about sixth grade that I started pitching, and I never looked back.
I love that. So volleyball never, fought a chance when it came to softball. It was always going to be softball for you.
Yes, absolutely.
No, very cool. And then obviously you played Illinois Gold. I'm very familiar. Been around the team a lot. My wife played for Gold. It's a big community thing. Talk about Illinois Gold and your time in the youth ranks for softball.
Yeah, so I was very fortunate. I had some of the best coaches growing up. Most of the time I played up. The first time I played up, I was 14 playing 18U. I remember like it was yesterday. I One of the first times I ever played with them, we actually played RBC. So like a 14-year-old playing against a national championship team, I was like that was a big deal. I loved to travel, had the best coaches. I am so grateful that I got to play for Illinois Gold.
No, of course. I think now I just think people don't get how it used to be. I know that I was around it, when I was a college coach and obviously with Ashton as well. It's just not the same anymore, which is unfortunate. I guess the college recruiting space has got a little bit more diluted and there's things that go into that, but I knew we definitely had to cover that today. Fast forward, give me like your upperclassmen high school years at Stillman. How did they go? How did your recruiting process go? Just enlighten us.
Yeah, so I took my first big hit my sophomore year. My freshman year of high school, I started on varsity, had a great year, and then I ended up and had to have elbow surgery my sophomore year of high school. So that was a good 6 months I was out for that. That was probably the first difficult rock I had, thrown at me
Yeah.
in high school. High school was definitely not easy by any means. So once I had that surgery, ton of PT, I came back. I was nowhere as near like speed wise after I came back, but still came back. And then I the dream was always growing up, I want to play Division 1 softball. I want to play Division 1
Like a
softball.
lot of us. Yeah,
Right,
of
exactly. I
course.
want to play on the TV. That's always what I had said. And I once that injury happened, I knew like there was just, it was very unlikely that, that was going to happen because I knew it would take months to get back.
Right.
So then I just started, getting a little more level-headed, like, okay, where can I go, go to school and play softball. So I I verbally committed to Trinity International University in
Right in
Chicago.
Chicago. Yep, I
Yep.
saw that. Mhm.
Yep. So I did that it was a Tuesday night. I went in there, loved the team, loved the coach, loved the school. And I was like, you know what? I can go there. It's close to home. I'll save money and I still get to play college softball. Like it was a win-win. And then 2 days after that, I actually lost my pitching coach to suicide. So that was a very, very tough um, roadblock to get over. I didn't even know if I wanted to play softball anymore, to be honest. It was rough. He was like my best friend, and it was like my life was shattered. And so that was tough. That was really tough. But then I decided that And then COVID happened. So there was like this weird time where like sports weren't in. So then we like missed a season. And then I decided, I was like, you know what, for my mental health, I was like, I can't go away to school. So it was another big decision that I had to make. So then I decided to go to Rockford University. I was there for one season and then I had shoulder surgery, which then ended my career altogether.
Yeah, we talk about a wave of different things in that
Mhm.
2 year, 3 year stretch. Let's just unpack some of this. So talk about your coach first. Anything that you're comfortable with
Yeah.
during that time, what you were feeling, what the community was feeling. I didn't
Mhm.
know any of this happened until
Mhm.
we connected a couple months back. So just whatever you're comfortable with, talk about that first.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was literally my rock. Like he was more than just a coach. Like he would come over for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner. Like we truly were family. So when this happened, I was complete like I mean, I knew, I was young. So I was like, "Oh yeah, like mental health's important," but I really didn't know what it all entailed. And this really opened my eyes and so I always did lessons at his barn, 3 days a week. And then, yeah, just one day it just was completely shifted.
I'm sorry to hear that first and foremost. I know how tough that can be. We've had a lot of guests on over the last 3+ years, and that topic is never easy, and one that
Mhm.
experience is never easy as well.
Mhm.
And then to throw COVID in the mix on top of
Mhm.
it, you're really getting to see who you are during that
Mhm.
time. Talk about what you found out about yourself during that time.
Yeah. So a lot of it, like, and as a pitcher, pitching did not come easy for me. I had to constantly practice. And I feel like I had with my nerve surgery, it was like all the muscle memory I had was just gone. So like I had to relearn everything. And so it was like finally, we're almost a season, like everyone's ready. And then it's like, boom, everything's closed. It's all shut down.
Mhm.
So for me, it was really hard because softball was like my out. And at this point, I had gone through so much loss that I was like, okay, perfect. We're almost to another season. Like it's gonna be good. And then it
Yeah.
was just like slammed again. So it was a tough, tough 4 years.
No, no doubt. And then you somehow end up my alma mater at Rockford as well. Like obviously I was there for 3.5 years. I've been in the Rockford area for 7. What happens that year at Rockford? Can you walk me through like day one to the end of it? Because there's
Yeah.
more to it.
Yeah. So day one, I was very, very thankful. When I went through everything and decided I wasn't gonna go to Trinity, I was like, I still need to go to school somewhere. And they were like, come to us. And so I loved that I could stay at home. It was super convenient. I So in the mix of switching, I had to switch pitching coaches, obviously, and
Mhm.
like they tweaked a few mechanics. And I had been to my first pitching coach for, gosh, 10 years. So I was pretty used to the same mechanics. So then I think once I did that shift, it just threw something off in my shoulder. And I just kept pitching and pitching and pitching because I was like, I had shoulder pain, but it was fine. I was like, I want to
Yeah,
keep playing. And I feel
yes.
like which everyone's like that, right? They're like,
Of
just
course.
play through the pain. And so I, got there and bullpens later, I like got to the point where I like couldn't even like lift my arm up. And this was
Yeah.
like 6 months from being at RU. It like went super, super quick. And so when I, got the MRI and everything, at this point I was just like, I think this is my last straw. Like I love softball. I do lessons now and I will always love softball and I'll always be grateful that, I have the connections I do and the lessons I learned from it. But I was like, I think this is the last thing that I can go through.
Yeah, I guess with that, first and foremost, injuries are never easy. I think
Mhm.
every career has them throughout high school, college, pro ball, whatever else. My question for you would be like, did you get everything you wanted out of the game, or do you feel you got cheated?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I really struggled with so like I'm a very like optimistic person. So I'm like, see the good in everyone, see the good in every situation. But there was a lot of stuff thrown my way and part of me feels like I may have gotten cheated a little bit, but also I'm like, I wouldn't be me without going through all those situations.
Yeah,
And
strong
now
answer.
I can be here and talk about it. And even if, like, I am so open with talking about it, and if I can just share my story and it just change even one person's perspective, for me, that's a win.
Yeah, it's a really good answer to a really
Mhm.
tough question, honestly. Like you look back and like after the two injuries and the
Mhm.
tragedy and the trials and tribulations, I understand completely. Like
Mhm.
that makes sense. How about your legacy now? Like obviously you're a teacher, you're
Mhm.
still in the community. What legacy are you trying to leave in your community and also for yourself?
Yeah. So now it's super cool. I teach at the same school I went to, which I absolutely love.
Mhm.
And I do pitching lessons now. I was for a few years, I was like, no, I'm not ready to get back into softball. I'm not ready to get back into softball. And then I had a few community members reach out to me and they were like, hey, our daughter wants to become a pitcher. Could you help her out or whatever? And I was hesitant at first. Because I was just like, I have some super high, standards to live up to because I've had some amazing coaches. So I was like, I better
Correct.
step my game up. I got to be. And so I was like, yeah, like let's do it. And I have loved it so much. I mean, it's like it's little steps back into the game because I was down so bad. Like I was like, oh, I'm so mad at softball, or I'm so mad at the, for everything that happened. And now it's like I'm slowly getting back into the game.
For sure. And then just for the sake of, I understand the business, I obviously give lessons now. I've been in the game of baseball for over 10 years as a coach and scouting and all that stuff. Where do you give lessons out of? Like, where is the location? And then also, are you doing hitting, pitching, both? What are you doing?
Yeah, so actually, I only do two girls right now, so it's super little. But
Love it.
and
It starts that way.
hey,
Starts that way.
it's a start. So, and the family that I do it for, they were gracious enough. They have a barn and turf, so they were like, "Just come here. You can do them here." So I do them at their house now. Eventually, I would like to get somewhere and do lessons. But right now, I just feel like I just finished my master's. It was my first year teaching, so I was like so busy that I feel like I'll pick up as time goes on.
You think you're going to get back into the coaching side, or is it just to be one-on-one instruction, you think?
Um, I feel like I will get back into the coaching side. I feel like also, like, this is a super, random thought, but I always had male coaches growing up. And I feel like it's
I'm
very
aware. I'm
valuable. Yeah,
aware. Yes,
right.
I'm aware.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's very valuable to have the female aspect in the game as well.
All right. There's definitely some male coaches you could shout out right now. Shout out as many as you can in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brian Fournette, my dad, Doug Boyd. Um, oh gosh. Man, this is like putting me on the
You
spot.
got more than 10 seconds. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh man. My pitching coach Dwayne. Um, oh gosh. Man, Pat, this is hard.
I not really. I mean, I can give you a couple of mine
um,
if you need some thoughts. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, give me a second. Yeah.
No, you're good. I just think of like the gold community. I always think of like
Mhm.
DJ and I think of
Oh my gosh, DJ.
Darren.
Yes.
They've all been on the
Yes.
podcast, so don't forget them
Yes.
while they're here. But no,
Yes.
guys like that is who I think about, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Arizona got a good one with DJ for sure.
I would agree with you. Well, that's awesome. Here's what I'll do. We always do David Mitchell's mailbag at the end of every episode, where
Okay.
David will just talk about some simple questions that are more mental
Mhm.
health focused.
Okay.
The first one,
Hmm.
you've been through a bunch.
Hmm.
Now you're in your mid 20s now. How old are you now?
Yeah, 23.
Okay. 23 now. What are you doing every day for your mental health?
Hmm. Yeah, for me, I was a super anxious person before I went through my tragedy and then extremely anxious after. So for me, it was reading. I love to read. Just going on walks. And I feel like it's like this is a total mental thing, but for me, it's like I need to find the win in every situation.
I love
Right. So
that.
like it may not be a great day, but there's something good that's gonna come out of every day.
Yeah, I love it. No 0 days. I live that
Hmm.
same kind of life. I try to do the
Hmm.
same thing. Love that. Okay. Softball. Was there anybody that you looked up to as a player? It could be in your community, professionally. Who was like someone that you tried to role model when you were a kid?
Oh gosh, this is man, like the three people that come to mind would be Peyton Abbott. She played
Hmm.
at Stillman. Stephanie Anderson also played
Hmm.
at Stillman, and Ashton. Hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Amazing. Now, a lot
yeah,
of Illinois Gold talent in that
yeah,
group, that's for sure.
yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad to hear, like I said, I'm biased, but like I'm glad to hear my
Right.
wife is a part of it. But no,
Yeah.
Steph and Peyton were both great players. I
Hmm.
remember watching them growing up as well. How about now? So my last thing would be this. You're an educator,
Hmm.
you're a teacher, you just got your master's. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What is like the end goal as a professional?
Yeah, I would love to go. Right now, I love it in the classroom. But eventually, I feel like I may get a little bit burned out in the classroom if I'm in there
Fair.
for,
My mom's a teacher. I get
yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah. So I want, as soon as I can, I want to go get my admin. And I don't think I'll jump to an admin position right away, but I think for sure eventually down the road, that's where, I will end up.
I love it. I got one more for you. So obviously the preface of our podcast, 180 plus episodes in,
Hmm.
is the keep going moment,
Hmm.
right? We've talked about a lot of deep stuff already, but like, is there a moment where you felt like, hey, I might not get back from this and you
Hmm.
ended up on the other side? What'd you keep going moment?
Yeah, for me, it was probably the day after losing my pitching coach. I actually found him that day. So I was, got hit pretty hard, and um, it was still trying to find the good in a bad situation, right? I mean, I was so upset, but I was like, you know what? I have to trust God's plan because ultimately, like, this is out of my control, and I have to be grateful for what I have.
What do you recommend for people going through a loss like that? Do you have any advice? There's never an easy process, but what
Yeah.
helped you get through it?
For me, it was don't stay quiet, right? Like just talk about it. Because if you bottle up all those emotions, it's gonna make it worse. Yep. So just share out and like I promise people like, will listen. There's people there. That's definitely what helped me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're sharing your story today. Have you ever shared this before on a platform like this?
No, this is the first time I've wrote like papers and stuff on it, but this is the first time I've ever shared it on a podcast.
Yeah, I would encourage you to do it. Obviously, we have our first event coming up in August, and we have a keynote speaker that's going to talk about, I'm not going to spoil it for James, but his loss and what's gone on.
Hmm.
And I remember after his episode, I was like, please keep telling your story.
Hmm.
So I would encourage you today to keep telling it. I think it matters. I
Hmm.
think from an outside perspective, we haven't connected in years, but you reached out and said,
Hmm.
hey, I have this story. Just keep telling it. If it's
Hmm.
in person, if it's virtual. I forget who said this now, and it was a couple episodes ago, and I apologize to that person, but they basically said, if I don't tell my story, it ends.
Hmm.
And it like really stuck with me that would be the end of it. And Max Silecki, I forgot who it was for a second, but yeah, Max came on a couple episodes ago. It just ends. So
Hmm.
tell it proudly. You never know what people are going through. And I didn't know
Absolutely.
about a lot of this stuff today. So I
Hmm.
really appreciate you being open, transparent, vulnerable, but also accountable for your community going, hey, I need to make sure people know one, how you get through it, but two, it's not going to be an even path?
Right. Absolutely.
It's been great. Is there anything else you want to tell our audience today? It's been a great time talking to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Always. Well, what we'll do is we'll get this out coming up this Sunday. So if you're listening right now, it should be out already, of course. And then we'll get some clips out this week. Macie, you've been awesome, not only on the podcast, but in our community and in the world of softball. Keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you, girl.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Macie.
Bye.
Keep going, y'all.